Last episode, I built a whole bunch of water-wheel power stations and made a workshop with all the basic create machines. Today, we make a start on the theme park itself, mapping out the main entrance area and central plaza, which may require a bunch of resource collection and maybe even a temporary farm or two to get what we need. But I guess I'll find that out very soon. First up, planning. And this is our giant island that we're working with. But what I need to do is kind of figure out where I want to put the main entrance. I mean, the central plaza is going to need to be quite central, which is not going to be fun for these villagers, I guess. Oh dear. But I think I want the central plaza around this kind of area, and then we're going to have a road that goes to the main entrance. And to be honest, I think this bay here might be the best place for it. So let's head over to this area and just see what we're working with. I mean, it looks fairly flat, which is nice. We need to head over this way. So this is the village, which might be slightly in the way. And this is the bay just over here. So we're probably going to end up with the main entrance around this area here somewhere, I guess. And we want the central plaza to be in a straight line, maybe about 150, 200 blocks this way. Pretty much means I think it wants to go roughly where this big lump is here. Let's just jump into free cam and have a look about. Yeah, I think that makes sense, which means the first thing we need to do is a whole bunch of terraforming, because this kind of needs to be removed. I think I do actually want to kind of raise up the land a little bit. If we're going to be having a dockyard sort of entrance way over there, we're going to have the main park entrance. We're going to want space underneath for doing other things, so I'm thinking maybe this sort of height here would be ideal, which means I need to raise up all the terrain around here, and that's going to be quite hard to do without very much dirt. So let's kill two birds with one stone. I think I'm going to take out this little hill here and this big hill over here. That's going to give us lots and lots of dirt to work with. It'll also clear out the space underneath and mean we can actually place a platform at the level we want it. I think it's going to make sense to grab my drill, because I can get that to do some of the work for me. And I also need to grab some XP because, well, I'm going to need to keep mending my shovels and things. To get XP, I think what we're going to do is just run a whole bunch of stuff through the crusher over here. That should do it. Oh yes, look at all that XP coming in. Wonderful stuff. And we can use some of that on our shovels straight off the bat. Well, it might be a bit excessive, but that should do us for now. Look, it's a big area. I don't know how many times I'm going to need to repair things, okay? And we're going to take our drill with us as well, but I think, yeah, I thought that was the case. We need to empty it out first. Still have all the remnants of our last mining sessions to sort out. Right, that should be that sorted. Let's grab that. Our shovel is repaired. Let's go destroy everything. Phase 1 complete. It doesn't look better, but it does look a little bit flatter. But what I want to do now is actually build a platform maybe sort of 3 blocks above where we are now, just above the height of these chests here. And I think that's going to be the level we'll actually build the park at least the entrance bit anyway. It's not going to be a completely flat park. That would just be terrible. But we've got lots and lots of dirt, and we've got a little bit of stone and some other bits as well. But all of these boxes here are just jam-packed full of dirt. It should be more than enough to create a giant platform. However, I don't really want to be doing that by hand. I mean, it's going to take forever to place that many blocks, especially considering I want the platform to be 2 blocks thick. So what we're actually going to do is build ourselves a nice create contraption, which is hopefully going to lay all these blocks for us. Now, last season we did actually have the construction wand, but that felt a little bit too cheaty, especially when there's actually ways we can do this within create anyway. So yes, that does mean things are going to take a lot longer to build, but it means we can also get a whole lot more creative with it. Now, the first thing we're going to need for this contraption is a whole lot of brass, so let's just get some stuff cooked up over here. Help if I turned my magnet off. So to get the brass, it's easy enough. We can just chuck this stuff in here. Oh, I say easy enough. We actually need to put some blazes in here. So let's grab these. And we'll go on a small adventure back to our starter island because, well, we do actually have a blaze spawner there we've still not done anything with. So we may as well put it to use. All right, so I believe we left the spawner just up here. Oh, run away! Run away! Run away! Run away! Run away! Right, well, we got some. They were just a little bit aggressive. We'll just leave them to it. They can have that hill. Right, now we've got blazes in them. If we give them a little bit of fuel. Wonderful, there we go. We're making all our brass ingots. Then I need to squish all of these down. We need lots of brass sheets here. And we're also going to need a whole bunch of andesite alloy. So let's just get that going. We're also going to need lots of andesite casings. So Right, that's going in the wrong direction all of a sudden. Let's just jam a gearbox in there and do that. There we go, much better. And what we're looking to make is a whole bunch of deployers, which means, yes, we're going to need more electron tubes, but luckily we can actually semi-automate that at the moment, and maybe 64 of these will be enough. We're going to need a lot more redstone, though, in order to make all these electron tubes. If I remember correctly, we can actually wash iron. So if we chuck all that in there, and I believe there's a chance of getting redstone when this stuff gets washed. Actually, one moment, isn't it supposed to be crushed iron? Oh, look at this, we've got loads of crushed raw iron in here. If we chuck all this crushed raw iron in there, we're gonna end up with, well, a lot of iron nuggets, which we're gonna need to craft up back into iron bars, but hopefully that's gonna get us enough redstone. Because to make enough electron tubes, we're going to need another 6 stacks in here. 5.5, technically. Oh, we're getting so many iron nuggets. This is ridiculous. Well, the good news is, after sorting all that mess out, we've definitely got enough redstone. But that does now mean we should be able to get all the electron tubes we need. Let's just turn that on. Wonderful. And we've got loads of additional iron. Look at that. Now we can take all of these and make our deployers. 64 of them. Wonderful. Now there's a couple of other things we're going to need. We're going to need a cart assembler. We'll need a furnace minecarts. Need a whole bunch of rail that I've already made up. And we're going to want lots of storage. Oh, and super glue. Definitely super glue. Now let's go see if we can get this to work as we want. And hopefully I'll pull this off and it'll look marvelous. Right, now the first thing I'm going to do is get up to the height where we want it to be, which is probably about here. Create a line that goes all the way down the side of this area, preferably without falling down holes. I'm going to put a stopper on the end there. We're going to lay rail down this entire length. There we go, and that's going to act as the guideline for our contraption. What I need to do now is actually build the contraption, and that's going to be much easier if I actually do it down here. So let's do this. Get our deployers and put them all in like that. So they will place a block here, I think that's right. Let's quickly check. Give that a nudge. Oh, we haven't stuck it together. Good job, Beardy. Right, let's actually stick that together first. And, okay, that's not where we want it. So we actually need that a block lower. Rotate it around the right way. And now we just need to stick all 64 of these down. Glue it all together. Now we just need lots and lots of storage, so let's get lots of chests in. Get all those glued on. Now we just need to load this thing up with dirt, and I think the easiest way to do that is going to be for me to take the contraption to the dirt and get loading. All right, I think we're good to go. So we'll put the contraption on there. We're going to stick this down just because we want to make sure it's not going to go spinning around. That would be really bad. So we're going to lock rotation on this. Stick a redstone torch there to turn it into a contraption, and look at that, it's already placed its first line. Wonderful. That tells me this should work an absolute treat. Let's just load up some coal. Oh geez, it's a lot faster than I expected as well. Look at it go. Who needs construction ones when you've got create? Wonderful stuff. So I should probably clear up all this track because we're going to need to reuse this. Well, I'd say that's a good start. We just need to do that again. So we've got our stopper in just so it doesn't carry on laying blocks that way. Let's get our track back in. Do that all over again. We'll put the machine back down and give it some coal. Wonderful. And I think we need to put one more row in, which means, yeah, we're going to need to maybe remove some of this village. Well, it's not the first time, and it probably won't be the last. Time for some village smashy smashy. I've removed the part of the village that was in the way, I've started placing more blocks, and I've run out of dirt, which means I need to go under here and get more. But I've made a bit of a mistake. I didn't actually light any of this up, so yeah, this could be a bit chaotic. So we just need to get in here and spam a whole lot of torches. Try not to blow too much stuff up, I guess. Uh-oh. Well, so far so good. We're being followed by lots of stuff, but we're still alive. For now. Right, that should just about do it. Well, I've just got a few creeper holes to patch up, but I think we've lit up all the underneath now, so that should solve the accidental mob farm problem. And we've got plenty of space to start working out this build. There's another hole over there. We'll have to fix that. But I think the first thing I want to do is maybe actually stretch this out just a little bit more this way. We'll do that manually. And then I want to mark out where I want the central sort of street area to be. In fact, I do want this bit coming out quite a bit this way because this part of the bay is terrible, so the actual coastline is probably probably going to be here. Maybe we should run the minecart along this way here and get some more blocks placed on that side. Sounds like a good plan. Well, I've run out of dirt, so I haven't quite finished off this bit here, but, well, I say finished off, squared off. There's no way that's finished. But this does give me a much better idea of the kind of space we're going to be working with. We've got plenty of room here to put in a sort of a dock type area and then the main entrance. But what I want to do is mark out where this central sort of road is going to be and then where the central plaza is, because, well, hopefully the central plaza is kind of the bit that we're going to be building today. I kind of need it for reasons we'll go into later. Besides the fact that being the center of the park, it's going to be needed so I can actually work out where everything else is going to be going. So what I want to do over here is mark out where the sort of main road, I guess, is going to be going right the way through to the central plaza. Let's just place a big old line of blocks along here and we'll figure it out from there. Something about that sort of size should do. So what I need to do now is pick a center point. So let's say this is going to be our center. I'm going to stick in a great big circle in the middle. So that sort of size should do the trick, and this is going to be our sort of central focal point. I don't really know what we're going to do with it yet. Maybe a fountain or something. Then we're probably going to want a path going around this bit, so let's just use cobble, maybe 4 wide for a path. Now let's go 5. Which means we're going to need a bigger circle out here. Okay, there's another circle for the path. And then maybe we'll have, I don't know, maybe some flower beds or something. It'd be nice to sort of separate this out and then have another path, I guess. Well, it's just a bunch of circles at the moment, but this should give us a bit of a working platform, which is good. I'm thinking maybe we should have like a quartz fountain in the middle, and maybe we could use mud blocks or something for the path. I think quartz and mud blocks would look quite nice together. And before I get too carried away with doing all of the road and all that sort of stuff around here, I think it makes sense to start in the middle and then work my way outwards. But before I can do anything over here, I am going to need to get myself some resources. And I think we're going to need a whole lot of mud, a reasonable amount of quartz, and we're probably going to need a little bit more dirt as well. And we don't even have enough dirt to be able to make our own mud. So, yeah, I have a feeling we may need to go all the way back to the mangrove place again. Where was that? Oh, geez, it's miles away. So this is where we need to be heading. Almost 5,000 blocks away. Jeez. Well, resource gathering montage it is. I've got a whole bunch of resources. We're probably going to need some more quartz, but I've decided instead of starting in the middle, I'm actually going to start out here because I do, of course, want this platform to be 2 layers deep, which means we're actually going to be building the road up at this level. So I'm just going to quickly get this bit in first, and then we're going to work inwards instead, I guess. Who knows? And the road itself is actually going to be stone and stone variant, so I'm just going to get all basic stone in for now. We can sort out all the texturing and detailing later. All right, I've got the stone road in. I've got it going all the way around the main circle in the middle as well, as you can see. And I think now I'm actually going to move to the middle and start doing some bits and bobs over here. And the first thing I want to do is to actually swap out all of this stone we've got here for limestone. I guess we're going to need some smooth quartz eventually, but I think I actually want to make the inside of this bit because we are going to do a fountain, I've decided. I'm going to use limestone for that, and then we're just going to top it with quartz to make it look a little bit better at the top. Hopefully it'll work. So I've got that first layer in, but because the road level's there, we're actually going to be having a path here which is going to be at this level. So I guess we need to raise the fountain up a little bit more. And I guess that means we're going to need to fill all this bit in with dirt as well, and then we'll put the path on top. But I don't have a lot of dirt. Hopefully I've got enough. Actually, I've got a better idea. We've got loads of cobble, and it's all going to be hidden anyway, so yeah, I think we're just going to use that. We'll save the dirt. We'll need this for the flower beds, and we don't have a lot. Right, there we go. That's better. I've marked out where the paths are going to go. I've marked out where the flower beds are going to go, although I have run out of dirt. I still didn't have enough even just for these 4 little corners. So that's not ideal. But next up, let's try and get this path in. And once again, I will texture it later. For now, we're just going to use these mud blocks. So that's the start of the path in. But from this point onwards, I think I want to be using half slabs. And because we can't actually get half slabs of packed mud, I don't know why I keep calling them half slabs, they're just slabs, half blocks. But these can't be turned into slabs, which means we're actually going to need to use copycat panels. And as you can see, we don't have a lot of zinc. But if we crush tuff, we have a small chance of getting zinc, and I think we've got a whole load of tuff, so potentially we could use that as a way of getting zinc. But I think we might be better off just doing a bit of mining. It's going to be a whole lot quicker after all. And the other thing I need is quartz, but if I remember correctly, yeah, we can crush down diorite, and then we have a 25% chance of getting quartz. That's good enough for me. We've got loads of diorite. So off to go gather more resources. Woo! Right, hopefully I've got enough stuff this time. We got some more dirt from out the front of our base because, well, we need to terraform that area anyway. But I managed to get lots more quartz from crushing down diorite, and we've got all the copycat slabs we need from the zinc. We've even got some copycat layers as well, because I've got a bit of an idea. But what I'm going to do now is get the rest of this bit filled in with dirt, and then we're going to use smooth quartz blocks like this. We're going to use these all along the edge of the flower beds. Guess means we do actually need to raise this up another level. The other thing I want to do is, of course, to get all of these slabs in down here. Though in saying that, I do want to experiment with the layers a little bit as well. If we do something like this, we can get a bit more of a gentle slope going on. Not like that, but like that. And this is just going to extend out all the way over to the road here. So I've got lots to do. I'll see you in a minute. Alright, I've got all of those bits in. We've got some grass spreading in the flower beds because we don't want them to be dirt. That would just look horrific. I've also raised the edge of the fountain here with some quartz slabs, some smooth quartz slabs in fact, which I think works quite well. But on this side here, I'm going to have a little play with these quartz pillar walls because they just look really fancy. And I'm wondering if we only put these on the inside bit, I don't think we need them on the lower bit because there's already kind of a barrier up to the path, and I think it might look a little bit too contained if we were to do it there. Around the back here, this could work quite nicely. Yeah, I like that. I think that's going to work. Let's just get this all the way round. By which I mean, let's get it just over halfway round before we run out of quartz. Dang it. Guess we're going to have to go get more. But before we do that, I'm thinking I kind of want to put a curb here on the edge of the road just to separate the path from the road a little bit more. But I'm thinking if we use these bite blocks and some mud bricks, we should be able to get quite a good edge on this. Yep, I like that curb. And as I say, with a road edge on here, it should work quite nicely. But I need to go get myself more quartz. And that's not all. I've also started putting in just a few of the textured blocks here on the mud path, but I think I also need to get myself some brown mushroom. I think that's going to work quite nicely with this, just to create a few smooth patches and reduce all the noise on this texture. And yes, I did run out of copycat bites as well, but I've still got a little bit of zinc left, so we can go make some more. So much resource gathering today. Off we go. And for this resource gathering mission, instead of actually just grinding down diorite, because we've run out of that, what we're going to do is grind down lots of cobble. That's going to make us gravel. Then we're going to grind all this gravel down into sand. Then we're going to take this sand, we'll let the rest just come through. We're going to stick it in here and we're going to haunt all of the sand to turn it into soul sand, which I do already have a stack of. Then we're going to wash the soul sand. This should give us quartz. But there's a 12% chance of getting 4 quartz. So we'll see what happens. And from that first stack, we got 39. That's pretty good. Should have done this first time round. It's much easier. That worked out great. Look at that. So much quartz. And now we've got loads more walls. Excellent. Probably way more than we need, but I'm sure we'll use them elsewhere. Then I also need a whole bunch more of these bite blocks and mushrooms. Now, this one's going to be interesting. I think our best bet is to actually head to the Mushroom Island. I think there's one just to the south somewhere. Yep, there it is. I mean, there's a bunch of brown mushrooms on there, but that should be at least enough to get us started. And if we take some bone meal with us, we can grow even more. Right, let's get these mushrooms. Well, we've got plenty of mushroom. That should be enough for what we need to do. We can finally get back to some building. So that's all the fancy walls in. Now what I need to do is get some texture down. I want to have a few smooth patches here and there. I want to make sure I don't overdo it too much. These mushroom blocks really do work well with the mud. Look at that. Then we're going to have a few of these bricky ones in as well. That should break up the path nicely. I don't think it needs too much more than that, to be honest. I mean, I don't want it to look messy or old or anything like that. I just want to vary the texture so it's not so noisy. Oh, great. Rain. Well, the rain's cleared up and I've textured all of the paths around here. The curbs are in. It's definitely starting to look a bit better and our flower beds are almost completely green. But what I want to focus on now is the fountain area in the middle here. First up, I actually want to replace this limestone with some cut limestone. It's just a little bit cleaner. Yep, that's much better. Then for the floor, I think I'm going to alternate between cut limestone and polished cut limestone, so we get this kind of tile effect on the base of the fountain, which is going to be a bit of a pain because there's nothing for me to stand on, so I'm going to have to kind of do it a little bit like this, I guess. Maybe just one row at a time. This should only take a moment. There we go. That's the base of the fountain in. I have left a different block in the middle here because I do need to know where the center is. It's going to get covered anyway, so not a problem. But I think, well, being a fountain, let's at least fill up this bottom bit with water first. And the second layer as well. Wonderful. We have a big pool of water. But now I need to try and figure out what we're actually going to put in the middle here. So, yeah, well, I mean, obviously we need some kind of a fountain. But theme-wise, I kind of want this main street area here, sort of stretching all the way down to the fountain, to be kind of steampunky, I guess. I mean, we are playing in the Create mod after all, and we're not having a designated steampunk theme area of the park. Why not make this area a little bit steampunky? And with that in mind, I think I'm going to head back over to our construction yard. I'm going to make some bits and bobs that should hopefully help me make some kind of steampunky looking fountain type thing here somehow. This is either going to go really well or really badly. All right, I've grabbed a whole bunch of stuff. Let's see what we can work out. And I'm quite liking the size of these boilers. They're absolutely massive. And, well, that's not how we want it, is it? Let's be honest. Can I rotate these? Nope. Okay, then. Maybe we could start with a great big column of boilers like that. Can we kind of squeeze these in at the base as well? Okay, we can. Don't think I want it quite there, though. Okay, if I remove those ones, can I then put boilers down? Right, well, this might end up looking absolutely awful. I'm going to have a little play around for a while, see what I can come up with, and hopefully when I bring you back in, we'll have something here that looks just a little bit not like it does now. I mean, what is going on here, honestly? Well, I think I'm making progress, but, well, it doesn't really look much like a fountain at the moment, does it? Maybe I could break some of the pipes and have water pouring out from some of them? Let's give it a go. All right, well, I think that's actually working better than I thought it would with the water pouring down. I mean, it looks quite messy, but to be honest, I quite like how messy it looks. What it really needs, though, is something to go on the top, and I do actually have an idea for that, but I don't think I brought the things with me. No, I didn't. Right, okay, we're gonna make something to stick on the top there. A big old centerpiece of some kind. Okay, so what we're gonna do is stick a straw statue down, which is, well, absolutely tiny, but I believe we can actually make these things a little bit bigger. Yep, here we go. Boom. Oh, my days, he's massive. Oh, yes, look at that. This thing is hench. So what we're going to do is give him a nice pose. What do we got? To be honest, I quite like that one, actually. The stargazing. That could work well. And if we give him a cog and a wrench... Love it. And we're going to grab my skin for this, I guess. How's that looking? Oh, that looks well cool. I think I just want to rotate him round ever so slightly. Let's see how that looks. So this is the main street. People are going to be coming in from that way, walking down here, and... oh, yes, look at that. That looks well cool. Quite like the jankiness of the fountain as well. It's a shame the water's not a little bit thinner because, well, that's a lot of water to be coming out of one pipe. But I think it works nicely enough. So for now, I'm going to call that fountain done. Might change it later on, but I'm quite liking it, to be honest. Wait a minute, is he leaning forward? There we go, much better. What we need to do now is to get some lighting in around here. So maybe some sort of street lights of some kind on some of these corners could work quite well. And we could do with sorting out these flower beds as well. But the problem with that is I don't actually have any flowers at the moment. Certainly not enough to fill something like this. So we're going to go on a small mission. I believe I did see a flower biome somewhere. I've just got to try and remember where. I have a feeling it was over here somewhere, near the swamp kind of area, maybe? Yep, here we go. There's the flower forest. It's just south of the swamp, which is quite handy because I think I'd actually like some blue orchids as well, and you can only get them from swamps. So let's go pick some flowers, and then hopefully when we come back, we can get that central bit there finished, and then start on the road, because, well, we need to do a lot of work on that to make that look good. But so far, I'd say that's not a bad start. Well, I've made it back. We've got lots and lots of flowers. I'm just going to take the ones that we have, well, quite a lot of, basically, because we've got some big old flower beds here, and what I want to do is not just scash them randomly, I do want to actually sort of have them in colour blocks and things like that. So I'm going to see how far I get. We might need to go get some more flowers, But hopefully, this is going to be enough. So let's start with some of these azure billets, or whatever they're called. What are they called? That's probably no. Azure bluet. We're going to use a mixture of alliums and wild mushrooms here to get some purple in. I think that's going to look quite nice. So with these wild onions, if you just punch them, you'll actually get onions. So you do have to use shears if you want to be gathering these. Just a note, I learned that fairly quickly. And we're going to use some wild flax, which once again, we did actually gather with shears. So it shouldn't grow into the tall versions of the flax. We don't really want that. And then we're just going to dump some red ones down the middle here. How does that look? Looks like these red ones are a little bit cramped. That's how it looks. Oh no, thunderstorm. I don't want to be dealing with that. Get out of my flower bed. I'll beat you to death with a flower. Oh, I'm burning quite a lot. Right, so I pulled out the red. We've just got the white, the purple, and the blue. And to be honest, I think that works quite nicely. Now to repeat that on the rest of these. So the white ones I pulled up to this bit here, which is the second at a diagonal. Then I did the purple ones coming out at a diagonal on this one, which is the next one along, so we'll do that on both sides. And then this whole middle bit here was the blue area. I really hope I've got enough flowers to be able to do all of this. And in fact, with these white ones, we do have some wild carrots as well, so maybe we could put in a few of these sort of bushier light ones. Wild corn as well. Is that going to make it look too messy? Oh, I think that's quite nice. Just makes it look a little bit more bushy in these parts, because these ones are quite small. Well, I don't know what I was so worried about. We've still got loads of plants left. And I think I've done the whole thing now. Yeah, that looks nice. Nice and colourful. I think we could do some lights or something along these walls though, and I do quite like these small lights we've got over there, these little zinc lights, and I think we've got plenty of those left back at the boat, although I do need to run all the way back over there again. I really need a horse. That's what I need. You. I think you're the one. So we'll come back with a saddle as well, because we're doing a lot of running in between here and our construction yard, and that's probably not going to change anytime soon. So a horse would be wonderful, and obviously my track record with horses means we've got nothing to worry about. Don't look into that. Right, I've got my saddle and some iron horse armor. It's all I had, so you will be mine next time we need to head back. But for now, I need to get some lights down, and I think these are going to sit quite nicely just sort of on these corner bits here of the wall, maybe. Just maybe not quite so many. I think I overdid it a bit there. Yeah, there we go. I think that looks nice. Now, I've got those lights in all the way around. What I want to do is design some fancier looking lights. And I've got a bit of an idea. I just want to see if it's going to work. And I'll tell you what, it's not going to work because I've forgotten to bring any of the deep slate with me. Dang it. I'm just going to get a horsey. I hope this is a nice fast horse. Speed 7.2. That's terrible. You're a really slow horse. Is there any more around here that might be a little bit faster? Doesn't look like it. Oh, and now you're killing yourself. Look, that wasn't me. That wasn't my fault. He wasn't even my pet yet. Didn't have a name or anything. I take no responsibility for that. But there is another horse over there. Just a mere mention of that horse becoming my pet, and he decided to end it all. Right, okay, 9.26. That's definitely better. Be my friend. Yay, friends. Second attempt. Not bad. Onwards. Now, dare I say it, this horse is going to need a name. We do have name tags, so if you've got any ideas, please do let me know in the comments, and we'll try and keep them alive as long as possible. Oh, there's more horses. Maybe they're faster. No. 9.3, 8.4, 11.23. Okay, we're going to take the one with the socks. Okay, so as I was saying, our horse is going to need a name. Our nice, super fast horse. Count yourself lucky. So yeah, if you do have name suggestions, please do let me know in the comments, and we'll get that named up next episode. Thinking about it, we do actually have the callable horses mod on here, but I don't actually remember what the things are. Right, set horse, so horse stats, call horse. Right, okay, call horse button, yeah, that works fine. The set horse is that. Excellent. And now what that means is we can leave our horse absolutely anywhere. Oh, look, there's a lead. That's very handy. And no matter where we are in the world, and I think no matter what dimension as well, what I can do is I can hit the call horse button. And look at that, a horse comes straight over to us. But anyway, right, deep slate, that's what I'm here for. Right, now we can go build some lights. Onwards. All right, now, these lights. Let's try using a copycat beam, then a couple of shafts. Probably going to be tall enough. Stick another beam on top, and some panels. Here we go. We'll stick a copycat panel on top of that. And then we're going to give this thing some texture. I'm not sure whether to use these ones here, although on the top, that's probably not going to be a good idea. Let's swap that out for this one. But I do wonder if these are going to look pretty good on this bit here. Yeah, I think I like that. And then we're going to use a fancy redstone lamp in the top there. Not lit up. Didn't think about that. So maybe we need to use a different bulb. I think these glowstone ones here might look a bit better, but the problem is I've just piled all my glowstone into these redstone lamps. But I wonder, can we crush them down and get our glowstone back, or at least some of it? If not, we're going to have to head back to the nether and get some more. All right, so can we crush down these redstone lamps? Fingers crossed. I think I want to just do one initially in case it completely disappears. No, I think it's just stuck on the belt, maybe. Where's it gone? Okay, so, can confirm, it did completely disappear. Not ideal. But I'm hoping if we turn these back into normal redstone lamps, then we can probably crush them and get stuff back. It's probably just because this is a chipped block variant, so it's not the kind of raw resource. At least I hope that's what it is. So let's get these converted back into normal redstone lamps. Put our crushing wheels back, and let's try one of these. Okay, well that definitely got ground up, and okay, we got 2 back, so we're getting like half the amount back that we put in. Well, it's better than nothing. We can turn all these back into glowstone lamps, and we've now got half the amount. That makes me so sad. What I get for not planning ahead. But hopefully this will still be enough to actually get the lampposts down that we want. But to do this, we need an alchemy bench, which is the one bench we don't have. How do we make one of these? Okay, that's doable. So we need a crafting table. We're going to need a couple of diamonds, and I think we've got a few, like a very, very few in our chests over here. Let's have a look. 3, literally 3. That will do the job, although we need a little bit more obsidian because we don't have enough of that, and we're also going to need a book. And we do have a few magma blocks, so that will get us obsidian if we just give that a wash, I believe. I think if I stick that in here. So that, perfect. That will get us our enchanting table. Need a few planks. And lastly, we need a brewing stand. And I think we've only got one of those at the moment. Yeah, this one here. Yoink. That'll give us our alchemy bench. Though I have no idea where I'm going to put this. We're pretty full down here. Well, I'm just going to stick it up there temporarily. That is, yeah, okay. We'll stick it back in a box in a moment. Don't worry. It's not going to stay there. And I think we want these ones here. We will find a permanent home for the alchemy bench. For now, we'll just chuck it in that backpack. But finally, we can go make some streetlights. Come here, horsey. Now we can make some streetlights. This has taken a lot more effort than I expected. All right, so stick that in there. Yeah, I think that's quite a nice looking light. I don't mind that. One thing I want to try, though, is potentially putting chiseled deep slate there instead, because now the wall connects. Then an anvil. Maybe we should replace that shaft with one of those. Nope, still not happy. Maybe we're better off just doing that. Do I prefer the anvil? I think I prefer the anvil, even though the wall doesn't connect. Let me know what you think in the comments. But for now, I'm going to stick with anvils. And we're going to put one of these lights on every corner here. And there we go. We've got all the lights in. How's this looking? Oh, I actually really like that. I think that's come out really well. Just need to fix the road now. And just a short while later, I think the road's looking a lot better. I've just mixed in some sanded stone and a little bit of stone brick. And yeah, nice and subtle, but I think it works. Once we get the paths in as well, that should look quite nice, but I don't actually have enough wheat to make any more of those mud bricks, so yeah, that's gonna have to wait for another episode. But overall, I think that should work really nicely as a centerpiece for our park, and from here, basically, we can start stretching out into all the different areas, we can start building rides in all the different zones that we're gonna have, and it should work together nicely. Is that a flower forest?